Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we are going to be talking about the Joe Budden podcast, of course. And in this clip, it is American and blacks are at the bottom. We're going to be talking about what black people and Spanish people deal with in the US, and we are also going to be talking about the N-word and Spanish people. There is a little bit of information I think people don't understand about Puerto Ricans in general. They just look at the skin of a Puerto Rican and they try to decide. I'm gonna go into that a little bit more. So let's get into the video. If you guys like content like this, like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you guys disagree with me, you guys can comment below. I'll respond to you. I won't delete it. So I definitely am interested in seeing what the feedback will be for this video. So let me know, guys, and let's get right in. Also, if you guys want to learn how I do the stream, how I keep things pretty consistent, how I set up my audio, etc., whatever it is, let me know, because I'm thinking about doing that a little when I get a little bit more subscribers, but I want to know what kind of feedback that has. So let me know, and let's get right into this video.
Like, there's cultural differences. They all hate us.
True. That's true. Or I don't know about hate. Hate may be a little strong.
Jeez.
Listen, Asians, Indians, Hispanics.
Spanishes, yeah.
Stop saying Spanish.
I just be joking around.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie, not capping. If somebody they believe that they're 100% Puerto Rican, or they're 100% Mexican, they're 100% this or that, they're gonna believe sometimes that, oh, if I'm light skinned, if I'm lighter skinned, whatever it is, that they deserve more respect, that they're better, and that kind of stuff. That is a problematic thing across nations. I don't think it's amongst everyone, but I do think it's amongst enough people where it's a problem. It's a lot of people. It's not even a small majority. There's a lot of people that feel some kind of way. So what he's saying is absolutely the truth. And like some Spanish people say there's no racism in like Puerto Rico and stuff like that. Older people. No, that's not true. It exists every country you're in, including the continent of Africa.
I know, of course.
But
no, dog, listen, in the Hispanic community, but the ones when I get close enough to them that we can really kick it, yo, they'll tell you, like, no, they don't like blacks. Ecuadorians, they'll tell you.
Italians.
Yo, my Peruvian, one of my main guys,
And think about where Ecuador's at. Ecuador, equator, is close to the equator. It's in Central America. Think about what else is in Central America and what's around there. Jamaica, all the Caribbean nations, Panama, etc. They're all Barbados. They're all over it. So even though that is part of their blood, because literally when you go to these countries, not Panama and stuff like that, but when you go to Africa and things like that, those people were brought to those countries. That's how it's in their blood. They don't understand that. So they have especially like Puerto Rican people, they have so much pride about being only Puerto Rican. So they don't want to take into account the European ancestry that they have in them, because that's just inevitable. They do have some from Spain, and they have African ancestry. So when he's saying this, it's true. Like, I've noticed, I'm not going to say a specific kind of Spanish necessarily, but they're the ones that are more prominent here. The like Mexicans, there's more Mexicans in the US because Mexico's right under the US, and it's bigger than something like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's just a small island. So with Mexico, there's a lot more people. I've seen exactly what Ish is saying. I've seen this happen on either television, news, or in person with people that were Mexican. I haven't seen it as much from Puerto Rican people, but I'm not going to neglect the fact that there are racist Puerto Ricans out there. So what they're saying is true.
They don't fuck with the blacks. They'll tell you, oh, no, you okay. They'll tell me I'm okay, like I'm the exception to the rule. Like in the Hispanic community especially, they don't fuck with each other like that.
And it's bad. It is real bad. If you call a Puerto Rican a Mexican, or Mexican a Puerto Rican, they freak out. They get incredibly furious. Same thing when you talk about like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. I've heard some clashes between them, but the Dominican Republic is very close to Panama, Jamaica, the Caribbean nations, all those people. If you go to those places, you will see how much of the population is darker skin versus white skin. There's not very many of them. There's pictures I have with family where you see me and I'm literally the lightest skinned person. My sister's in there. You wouldn't be able to tell which one's my sister versus everyone else, because the rest of my cousins are similar complexion. I was definitely one of the lightest on my dad's side of the family. I am the lightest, period. The lightest skinned people I would say are a little darker than Ish. The lightest skin. The darkest people are darker than all three of them. That's it's just what it is in Panama. It's a spectrum. There's a spectrum, and well, that's why I just don't get it. Because my dad is darker skin, not dark. He's a little bit darker than Ish, and my mom is Puerto Rican. She's tan, but she's fairly light skinned. She's probably similar to me. I have a light right up there. I have a light back there, and I have lights around. That's why like my skin looks fair. That's why like on my forehead it looks like that, and I mess with the brightness, whatever. But I'm a little bit more brown than this looks. Especially like once it gets in July, if I'm outside a lot, I turn way darker. Like people are shocked usually when they see the difference in my skin, but it's because I think it's because my mom's so light, my dad's so dark. My sister also is not light at all. My sister is darker than Ish for sure in the winter. So it is, and it's 100% blood. I don't think people understand enough about the rest of the world. They look at the US and they think there's a race problem, a color problem here. There's a color problem in all these places, in Europe too, in Sweden, etc. And so they talk about how happy you are in Sweden, but if you're a dark-skinned person, it's seeming like you might not have the same kind of freedoms if you are an overseas darker-skinned person. If you're somebody in that nation, you might have some of the prejudices, but I don't know if you necessarily deal with the problems you deal with here from law enforcement.
Worldwide, though, the American black is at the bottom of the totem pole in social order, and it's disgusting. Like honestly, so what you saying? I'm
in civilized countries, because don't get it twisted, anyone that is in the US has it better than somebody that's in a third world country. You could get bombed while you're just sitting at home. People can raid your home, come in, take you, and the country will do nothing for you to help you. So as far as modern countries go, and especially as far as rich countries go, we're filthy rich as far as the nation. We shouldn't have the problems we do, especially amongst race, and we shouldn't have so many people jailed, especially people of color that are black specifically. Look at the stats. Everyone watching this probably knows some of the stats, but really think about the stats. Black dude walking down the street with a hoodie, got a snap on some Skittles. You look at him as threatening. White skateboarders been wearing baggy ass clothes, hoodies, big jeans, all that shit forever. They don't look at them in the same light. You gotta kind of be a fly ass, dope ass dude at all times, because you know people are perceiving you in a certain way. Yo, what he's saying here is the absolute truth, because when people hear the way I speak, they'll say I sound white. But ask me why I might sound like this when both my parents have a Spanish accent. I'm born in Ohio, and when I was a kid, I was always worried about having an accent or what other people would think if I would potentially have an accent. So I thought about the stuff I say. I'm very, very calculated in what I do. So when he's saying all this, and he's talking about this, and my name's Armando, so everyone calls me, they say Armando, Armadillo, crazy things in public. So when he's saying all this stuff, I get it. People look at you different. People will talk about me different, say my name different. People will assume things about me if I tell them at all where I come from. If I tell them that I do not have white in my blood, I've had people be vile towards me. I've had people come up to me. Okay, I said I'm gonna do that story time with Mando segment. Here's one small story. I'll expand on this in the future. I had a guy that said he was a veteran come up to me on the street in Columbus, downtown Columbus. I wasn't even wearing anything super nice. I was wearing like a sports jacket, a little nice shirt, a nice tie, dress pants, dress shoes, right? I was parking my car with my friend. My friend was a white woman, shorter than me, and I'm paying for the ticket. This guy comes up to me on crutches and he says he's asking me for money. I said I don't have any money on me, so he asked me to go to an ATM. He asked me to go to an ATM, and I was still nice. I'm sorry, sir, I don't have. All right, I'm not gonna be able to go to an ATM right now. I have to go to a work event. I wasn't even trying to be rude about it. So then he starts making comments like, "Oh, you have your job because of me. I'm a veteran." Why? He was just sitting on a workbench with headphones in on his crutches. And he's telling me that he's a veteran and I only have this job because of him, blah, blah, blah. I felt like pushing that old man down and kicking him off his crutches. Both of my parents are veterans. I don't give a fuck if you're a veteran or not. You're not going to walk up to me thinking you're going to do something. My little friend was standing there and she's like, "Sir, that was rude. Because she started making comments. He very clearly thought that I didn't deserve to be here because he doesn't think that I was born here, whatever it may be. So I start laughing just because I'm kind of a troll, but I can handle myself. So like when I troll online, I've been online since I was young, since a little bit before I did martial arts. I was just sitting there laughing, rolling at this guy, because I'm like, bro, if I want to, I will slap the taste out of your mouth and you will not do anything. And if you attempt to, I'll break you. As like ridiculous behavior. Like when people start coming up to you and acting that kind of way, it's hard to stay calm. When people want to sit there and say racist things towards you, especially when you know like the history, I don't play with that. So my friend starts saying that was rude, and the guy starts approaching, like getting almost closer to her. So that's when I get in front of her. I'm like, hey, you better calm down, because you don't do that. You don't act that way. I can't let you do that, especially to a woman. You're not rolling up on a woman by me. Sorry. So like what he's saying is the truth, and it's like a lot of people don't understand the kind of trauma that you deal with when your family has dealt with this and you've dealt with this. People talk about the trauma that's generational trauma. Okay, there's a lot of people that will say, oh, that's not true, that's not true. Let's say it isn't true. Let's just talk about the trauma you deal with from the time that you're born until you're 18, before you even get out your parents' house, or whoever is raising you, whatever circumstances you're in before you're an adult, when you're a minor. Let's talk about those circumstances. Let's talk about all the anxiety that gets brought onto people when they walk into stores. When you walk into a store and you have 1 or 2 friends with you, and all the faces start turning towards you. All the employees start watching. They start walking around corners looking at you. All that kind of stuff. You walk by people's cars. They start locking the car loud so you can hear it. All these things. So people don't understand the little things you deal with. And when you grow up in a rough area and you venture out to other places and you like around more wealthy areas, things like that, people look at you funny. If you're not able to dress as nice, or you're not able to have as nice things, people look at you funny. And that's why, regardless of how much money I ever have or how much money I've ever gotten or get, I'm not gonna look at you funny just because you might have come from the hood or anything like that. That's wild to me. It's wild to me. So I know I'm talking a lot in this video, but I'm passionate about this stuff. I'm passionate.
Like I hear white boys outside like, my nigga, chill nigga, stop playing nigga. It's become that free. Like if you be uptown in the Bronx, Harlem, but yo nigga. Spanish say nigga like.
Distinguish between the Spanish women that date the black dudes and the Spanish women that don't.
It's a lot of them too. Darker than
now,
me. They darker than us.
That don't say that
Way
they
darker.
hate black people, but it say that something happened in the house.
Where they
Yeah, this video is a little bit educational. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of a culture between those things. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I appreciate you guys for your time. Peace.